What up, what up, what up, what up? It's Imani, and I'm back with literally just my thoughts. Capital M, capital Y, asterisk, okay? I don't condone cheating. I'm not with it. I'm not somebody that believes that once a cheater, always a cheater, but the older you get, the more set in the ways people become, the less grace I have for you. Don't cheat. Thanks.
This is a story of how a lady didn't defend her husband when it mattered, and she's asking, is the relationship over?
Probably.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I'm going to skim through it because it's a long post, but I'm going to give you guys the most
How long is this
important
video?
parts that matter. I met my husband when I was 20 at the gym. I was trying to lose some weight. He eventually noticed that I was sticking to my New Year's resolution. 2 months later, we were dating. I learned that he was from Indiana, and he had stationed there in Texas for just over 2 years at that point. Eventually, he met my family. My parents liked him. My siblings liked him. And so all in all, my family loved him. I had set up a surprise for his birthday. His actual birthday. Nothing extravagant, but his two roommates were immediately on board and told him they were going on a couple trips for the weekend. My family wanted to come to be there for a surprise and cake before heading home, and a handful of other friends. Everything was in place for the plan, was that I would hide behind the door and jump on his back and cover his eyes when the lights would come on. So I heard his truck pull into the drive. Everyone hid. It was almost pitch black in the house. He opens the door and shuts it and takes a few steps in, and I jump on his back. Everything happened so fast. I immediately flipped over, slammed into the ground. The lights came on. I felt sharp, intense pain in my shoulder, and my ears were ringing.
Oh,
Yeah.
fell hard. I mean,
That
he probably
sounds
thought it was.
accurate.
I feel like he probably thought it was an intruder.
He was horrified at what happened, and my brother and my dad started yelling at him. He was trying to help,
Why y'all
and
yelling
my
at
mother
him?
and his roommate had to get between him and my father and brother. He just kept apologizing to me. So we spent the birthday in the ER. I had a separated shoulder, a broken collarbone. See, that's why a lot of us don't like surprise.
Fun fact about me, I didn't break like my collarbone, but I chipped it sharp, right here sharp. I was riding my bike. I was by myself in the backyard. I'm biking, the bike slides, and the handlebars go from like this to like this, and bop! Like, I couldn't even yell for help. The wind was knocked out of my chest. I didn't even know that my collarbone was chipped until I was like in high school. Crazy, right?
Some of y'all don't realize who's getting surprised.
You're clouded by the fairy tales that you got in your head about how good it's gonna be and everything and stuff, and it's gonna be
Surprising
so nice.
somebody is not a good idea when it's like, could be misconstrued. You can surprise somebody with a gift at the table, you know, but surprising somebody by sneaking up on them and jumping on their backs in the pitch dark in their home, that's a good way to get shot and beat the fuck up. Like, that's a great way to get beat up. It's a great way to get beat up, baby. I don't know who told you to say that.
But basically, you're jumping on the motherfucker. You're jumping on someone.
Essentially, that's what he's doing.
What's the surprise? You scaring him, and then what happened?
Yeah, what was the
realizes
He
surprise?
got scared.
Yeah. Well,
what
a
was her
scare's
plan?
fine. I guess they were hoping like, oh, you'd be like, oh, I think like, oh, it's all the people.
I don't think you see the best of human beings when they're scared.
No, you
A lot
don't.
of things
You
can
see the
happen
worst.
if you're scared. I can jump you. I can run. I can shit and piss myself.
Here's an example. So we spent the birthday in the ER. I had a separated shoulder and a broken collarbone. I was initially furious at him for doing that and didn't want him around me, so he sat in the waiting room. By then, my brother and
He didn't
father
hurt
had
you
calmed
on
down.
purpose, though. Like, it's not like he hurt you on purpose. You jumped on a grown man in the middle of the darkness in his home. You expected him to not do anything? So I'm really confused as to why everybody's so upset with him when y'all the one that almost gave that man a heart attack.
Realized for what it was. What was he supposed to think? Walking into the house, believing it to be empty, and get jumped from
Yeah.
behind. Eventually, I agreed,
Yeah.
led him back, and he immediately started to cry and tell me how sorry he was. He would never do it again.
Never do what?
Well, I mean,
No,
you
no,
love
it's-
somebody, you hurt them, you see them in pain.
Yes.
You're gonna say you never want to do that. It's not.
I'm not.
Yeah. But he
I'm
has
not saying
nothing
that
to really apologize for. Of course, apologize. Well, like, I don't even know if apologize the word or what other word to use besides apologize, because I do think, I mean, she did get hurt as a result of you being scared because she scared you, though. So I'm truly, she needs to apologize to him and take accountability for the fact that she's in a hospital right now because she decided to surprise somebody as if she was a burglar in their house. I'm still trying to understand where he's at fault.
Wrong for saying sorry. It's just the phrase, I'm never going to do it again.
Do what?
How about you don't scare me and I never do it again? Of course, I understand that it was not my intention, but the I'm never doing it again part is weird to me.
Yeah, for
No,
real.
it's not weird that I think that.
I think it's what people say.
I understand.
So it's what people say. I don't know that's an abnormal thing. You hurt your wife. You probably, if she's in the ER, not going to be like, don't ever scare me again.
No, I'm not going to say never scare me again. I'm just saying, yeah, sorry.
She's in pain in the ER, I probably wouldn't say.
I'm not going to say, bitch.
It's your fault.
Serve you well.
I mean, but when you why they laughing though? That's really what she deserves to hear. Like maybe not in the middle of having her bones. Her bones are broken right now. But like at some point, she gonna have to understand that like this is your doing, babe.
I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna.
I hope not.
Serves you right.
Sometimes people read these stories with like so little emotion. I'm like, are you guys?
I'm not gonna be. No, that's not even what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is a fuck up. I ER with a dislocated.
Hey, yeah. I bet you're never gonna do that shit again. Yeah,
but I bet she won't though. I bet she won't though.
I never said that.
He struggled more than I did to put this behind us, but I kept up with my schoolwork, and we continued to grow close over the years. Eventually, he asked me to marry him, and it was a no-brainer. It was hard for him to say goodbye to the Air Force, but he wanted to settle down. We had a move between our wedding when he finally left the service. By then, I was working, had a very large amount saved up. As we waited where the FAA wanted him to go, we stayed with my brother and his wife in my hometown. He knew how much I missed my hometown, so we decided to buy a house, and we would commute almost an hour and a half each way. It is a huge sacrifice on his part. So he wanted to be closer to her hometown. He moved there, and he was willing to commute to work about an hour and a half away.
That's a lot of driving.
All right.
2020 happened. I lost my job, but my husband made more than enough to cover lost wages. We weren't getting any younger and decided to start a family. It took a bit, but eventually I got pregnant. We had a wonderful 2-year-old son, which first year was a struggle for us both, but we tried to adapt to parenthood. My husband struggled more than I did, but I helped him. If you've kept up with the news, the FAA, which I think that's for the people who attend to flights. So those are the people who manage the airspace and basically flight towers. The FFA is short-staffed with not enough controllers, so my husband works mandatory overtime, and usually most shifts are 10 hours. Each Wednesday he gets off work at 11 and has to...
He working mandatory 10 hours, driving an hour and a half before and after work to please you, girl.
Be back at work by 8 a.m.
That's
a very short turnaround that will leave him most 5 hours of sleep if he drove home. So on those nights, he sleeps at a coworker's house. He has offered to make the drive, but I don't want him driving tired or working tired either. Yeah. Honestly, it did suck on those nights when he wasn't home and our son just wouldn't sleep. He encouraged me to reconnect with old friends I have, which leaves us with the reason for this post. I do most of the housework, but my husband has always helped me when he is home. She eventually led to me telling them that my husband stays near his work on Wednesdays, and some of the nights were rough on me, especially early on. That got me a lot of sympathy, and I don't know why it felt good to hear someone that wasn't family say those things. I kept my mouth shut. And when they said my husband should suck it up and take care of his kid, and that their husbands commute 2 hours to work each way, I wanted to say, well, your husbands have the same hours every day and aren't responsible for other lives. Instead, I just nodded in agreement. It makes me sick that I did that. My husband woke up as much as I did and still does when our son needs him. Last week, my husband had a very rare Saturday and Sunday off.
This is really long.
We wanted to have some people over for dinner and invited my older brother, sister, in-laws, as well as 2 of my friends from the previous week and their husbands. So, going back to getting slammed by my husband, he mentioned that he hates that story, that even if it wasn't intentional, he seriously injured me, so I stopped telling that story out of respect for him. Friday rolls around, the dinner starts, everything's going well. That's when my sister-in-law asks me to tell the story of how I broke my collarbone and separated my shoulder. I figured since my husband was out of the room, no harm, no foul. I tell the story and I'm laughing. My sister-in-law is laughing, and Sarah and her husband seem amused. Lana and her husband aren't laughing. Lana reaches across the table and grabs my hand and says, I saw your knee and how bruised it is. My sister-in-law snorts at Lana and continues, you said he doesn't help you with your son, and now he has you believing that he did that to your shoulder with some kind of accident?
Girl,
my husband walks in and asks what we are talking about, and Lana tells him that she knows that he's abusing me. That he doesn't help with our son, and that he obviously shoved me down and bruised my knee. That I should have left him when he broke my shoulder. My husband immediately looks at me and asks, what the hell did you tell her? That's when Lana's husband speaks up and tells my husband to lower his voice because he won't tolerate verbal abuse, and that if you lay a finger on her, I will beat your ass.
First of all, if you witness somebody being abused, you should absolutely do your best to put a stop to it, or at least let the abuser know or suspected abuser know that you know and that you're not going to stand for it. I think that that's good, that's healthy, but in this context, you don't even know what you're talking about. Let's continue.
She goes on to say, I'm too shocked to speak up and stick up for my husband.
What?
My
How you too shy to stick up for your husband, but you don't mind telling a story? I'm confused. You ain't that damn shy.
husband didn't take kindly to that and told him to get the out of her house. Brother hears the confrontation as Lana and Sarah's husband stand between my husband and I. My husband tells him again, don't make me repeat myself. I'm not going to tolerate being called a wife beater. Get the hell out. My brother tries to explain that my husband doesn't hit me, and I just turtle like a coward. I remember my husband looking at me.
Ooh, you can't just say he doesn't beat me. You got all these people thinking that your husband is abusive and neglectful to your child, abusive to you and neglectful to your child. And you mean to tell me you don't have the bosses to literally just say he doesn't hit me though? He's actually a great dad. He just works really far. Like, we getting divorced. We're getting divorced. We're getting divorced.
As if he was pleading with me to speak up for him.
Not he doing all of this for you, okay? Or for y'all family. And you can't even use your words to defend him from a story that's your fault. I'm like highly confused and very much so irritated with this lady. Now let's continue to listen to this debauchery.
But I just sat there unable to do anything. I don't know why. I've never been in a situation like this before. Lana and her husband start telling me I need to leave with them so my husband doesn't hurt me. My husband flips his shit at that, and my brother
I would have too.
Had to almost tackle him. And he goes, tell them the truth. Don't walk out that door. My husband's voice was surprisingly calm. I followed them out the door. I was almost in the car with them.
So not only did you not correct them, you went with them to continue to further cement the idea that you're in danger. Are you serious? Divorced immediately. What? Oh, so if I'm abusing you, then why are you staying with me? If I'm neglectful to our child, then why do you keep letting me around this child?
But then she pulled me back, and my brother forced Lana and her husband to finally leave. I get back inside and just started crying. I look at my husband, and the love in his eyes was gone.
Yeah.
He looked like a stranger to me. I tried to hug him, and he pulled away and said,
because you acting like a stranger.
I remember telling him that perhaps he could stay with my brother. I was insulted in her home. You stood by and let our friends lie, and you didn't say a word. You walked out the door with them. You chose them over me. If anyone needs to leave, it's you. I'm not saying you have to leave, but I'm not leaving her house tonight. I need some time and space to think about how to move forward.
For sure. And don't talk to me.
This girl did something foul, and she suggested he leaves with the brother.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'll just finish the story. My brother agreed with my husband, and I left with them. My brother didn't say a word as we rode to his house. I couldn't stop crying, wondering why I let them in my husband and our marriage like that. When we got home, my brother just
No,
went
that's
off on
not
me.
the problem. You shouldn't have to stop talking about your marriage to your friends and family. The whole thing is that you shouldn't be telling them lies. And if they come at your husband or your family incorrectly, you need to correct them. Like, that's the problem. The problem is the fact that you didn't correct them. That's the problem. Not that you shared parts of your marriage with them.
Asking me questions I had asked myself. That my husband never did the things that those friends accused him of. I didn't sleep that night. Every night.
Good.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Every call and text went unanswered. I told my parents what happened. They reached in a calmer manner but aren't happy with me right now. My family's supportive but firmly on my husband's side. Honestly, I don't blame them. I have no excuse for not defending him and trying to de-escalate the situation. My husband wants space, and I'm trying to give him that, but I miss being near him. He has stopped by every day to see her son, but he has been avoiding talking to me.
I would
got a
too.
call from him today saying he's deeply hurt and feels betrayed, that he isn't sure if he can trust me again. He still loves me, but he needs to sort things out on his end. But he was considering separation.
Oh, yeah.
I told Lana and Sarah to fuck off and never contact me again, but I'm so hurt and angry, very angry at myself.
It's not their fault. They thought that you were being abused because of the way that you expressed this information about your marriage. They thought you were being abused. They were doing what they should be doing as friends. They should be protecting you and willing to fight somebody who's hurting you. They should be willing to do that. They're not the problem. Your man's not the problem. You're the problem. You are the problem.
I want my husband back, but I'm not sure if that's possible. I need some advice, please. I want things to be back to normal. I want to picked up and slung over his shoulder as he grabs my butt.
Cute.
I want him
Oh,
to
well.
kiss my stretch marks and tell me that he loves me even
Oh, well.
more for them. What do I do? How can I save my marriage? I'm not going to lie. I believe this whole story to those last couple nights. Those last couple lines look like some creative liberty in someone's fantasy. But anyways, we're all operating under this being true. It's a very popular post. It was pretty long. Is it real? I say like 60% chance it's real, 40% chance it's fake. But it's a good story.
Let's operate on the basis that it's real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that probably is going to be unpopular.
I don't think it's going to be unpopular.
No, I think it's going to be unpopular.
Say it.
I'd rather my girl cheat on me than live that. I told you it was unpopular. Living that and having all...
No, I think most people would agree with you.
Yeah. I'd rather you cheat on me than have all these people thinking that I'm beating your ass and neglecting our child.
Those things, me being accused of all those things, and I turn around and I'm like... Because at this point, I can't fight. I can't prove anything.
Yeah.
The only thing I got is her. And she leaves out the door with them
without
People
saying
who
a
think
word.
I'm
without
beating your
saying
ass?
Jack. At that point, you are saying that is true.
And it's over
You
with,
are
divorce.
100% saying that what they're right. Mm-hmm. Because you are leaving. I'd rather my girl cheat on me and not find out.
You want to hear an even hotter take? I don't think that's a hot take. I think most guys would rather get cheated on than have their partner accuse them of domestic
For
cheating.
sure.
And I think most guys in the comments will 1,000% agree.
Because, God forbid, like, they ended up calling the police, or they ended up spreading it all over the internet like you're doing now. But, you know, like, his reputation could be ruined, because there are people who have their reputation ruined all the time, and it doesn't matter if it was a lie or not. The public will still think whatever they were told about you.
Because if she cheat on you, she just hurts you. But if she accuse you, she doesn't just hurt you, she ruin your reputation. She destroy your marriage. Mm-hmm. It's irreparable.
Yep.
And she made everyone think that you beat her. Which is a stain on your reputation forever.
And it's a level to this shit. It's like, I told you not to tell that story.
Yeah.
You tell that story.
I forgot about that. He told you not to tell the story, especially because I'm like, he's really protecting you, because you're the asshole in this situation. It's you. You're the problem.
Totally.
God.
Wait, what Taylor Swift say? Hi, something, I'm the problem, it's me.
Damn, I was right there. Maybe not in the room, but I was right there.
This face is a face that all men would make inside if you did that shit to them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the only way I could ever look at you again, bitch. Maybe not on the outside, but on the inside, look.
That's crazy.
Dirty little... You
To be honest with you, ma'am,
You Jezebel.
I don't even know I don't know how you can save this one.
I don't know either, because I don't trust you.
I
don't trust you anymore. I don't trust you to defend my name. I don't trust you to protect our marriage. I don't trust you to correct people when they are accusing me of something. Like, I just don't trust you to... I don't trust you. Like, the damage is done. Like, no.
I don't know how you can save this one.
Absolutely.
I don't even know if it's possible to redeem yourself. And that's only for him to make the decision.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You can only come forward and be like, you know what? I ex them. I'm not... Even if you ex them and you're like, I'm not talking to them no more, and this and that, whatever, and the third.
It's too late.
What the fuck did you say in the first place?
To have them ready to jump on me.
For her to think that, and then to report that to her husband, and then the husband wants to beat my ass. So now I'm walking in the street. I'm not even... What the...
Not you got somebody else in my house coming down my throat about me possibly beating you up, and then got her man about to try to beat me up, and you mean to tell me you couldn't say anything? This got my eyebrow twitching. I'm too far from my camera right now to show y'all, but this literally got my eyebrow twitching. This is pissing me off.
Even the fact that you're not talking... What are you doing talking to the... What do you say to these people when I'm not around?
Hey, listen.
And
That's
I'm trying
real.
to pay the bills, and I'm trying to work hard, and this and that and the third, and I'm doing what I'm saying. Hey, you feel I'm not there? Yeah, reconnect with your friends. And that's what you do?
You went through hell and high water to make sure your life was good. And you did that.
I don't even know if it's possible.
But Preach brings up a good point. You've been saying other things to those ladies that you
Had
were
to
writing
be.
this little paragraph of yours. Because the way she was primed to think that she was beating off of one little thing about him not being around with your family. Yeah.
You had to have been doing it.
Yeah. You said a whole lot more than that. Also, I don't even mean this as a gender thing. You just a bitch.
Yep.
Like, you gotta be some level of coward to not defend your husband.
No,
The person you
not
have a
saying
child
anything, I can
with.
understand the shock. You walked out!
Wait. So
I'm with Preach.
You gotta be some level to not defend your husband when he's accused of something so heinous that revolves around you.
Yeah.
That you know he didn't do.
Yeah.
You gotta be super weird to be a coward in that moment and be so
Super
afraid of
weird.
confrontation. You won't speak up for your husband. But then the thing is this.
This your husband. This the father of your child.
People make mistakes. How they recover from them matters. You make that initial mistake.
Sure.
They tell you to come out the door. And for some reason...
This was your opportunity to stop. Be like, wait, y'all. This is going too far. He actually didn't hit me. Like, this was your opportunity.
Only action you take in all of this is to walk with them. So you'll follow their instructions to walk out the door and leave your home and leave your child. But you won't follow your husband's instructions to defend him. The easiest thing you could do, which doesn't require leaving your kid.
Or lying, because he didn't abuse you.
Out of this story. I think there's a lot of feelings about your husband that you haven't resolved, that you're not willing to admit to, because I think they're darker than you'd like to admit.
Or you a bitch.
Or you're a bitch.
There's no level of bitchiness that does that. I think you have to look at your husband a certain type of way to walk out that door.
I don't know about that.
I could say quietness is one thing. To walk out with somebody else on your husband takes something else that's going on in your head.
I don't know about that.
I believe that.
I don't. But it's at this point, it's not important.
It's such a
really
crazy
not
thing
important.
to...
It's just crazy. It is.
Well, anyways, guys, I think we already know my opinion on this matter. I think we know Abba and Preach's opinion on this matter. I think we could all hopefully all agree that she is the problem in this story. Am I the asshole? Yes, you are the asshole. So, good luck. I hope that your child grows up with two good parents, regardless of what happens with your marriage. And I hope that you realize the mistake that you made, baby, because if I was your man, you wouldn't be getting me back. Drop my child off. That's all I care about. Give me my son. That's all I care about. Cause yeah. Well, anyways, let me know what you guys want to see from me next. I will react to anything. Not anything. Calm down. But I do want to react to like movies and shows and stuff like that. So I might do a movie review. Or reaction, I mean. I might do a movie reaction soon. Peace out, homies. Love y'all. Wait, what Taylor Swift say? Hi, something, I'm the problem, it's me.